area. Hi, this is Diane again. Thank you for joining me on SFN again. Today we have a special guest. Our guest is Dr. Ahimsa Shamchai, and she was an emergency medicine physician in San Francisco, here in San Francisco, and she's affiliated with the UCSF Health and UCSF Medical Center. She received her medical degree from the University of California, San Francisco School of Medicine, and has been in practice for more than 20 years. Most importantly, she founded and is also the executive director of the Hunters Point Biomonitoring Foundation. Dr. Shamchai grew up in San Francisco's Southeast community and attended city public schools. A graduate of San Francisco State University and was included into the Alumni Hall of Fame in 1995. A highly cited PubMed researcher, Dr. Shamchai is the author of The 21st Century Upright Bipedal Spinal. Welcome again, Dr. Shamchai.
Thank you so much for brightening my morning.
Oh, thank you for brightening our morning and afternoon. We're recording in the morning, but thank you so much. So, you're doing so much fantastic work. I'm so grateful for you for informing the community, because I grew up, one of the ones that grew up on Hunters Point Hill.
Yes.
Constantly having issues related to the toxins in my body. My brothers and many people that I know have died early. Almost everyone is dying early. So let's get into it, because these are things you already know.
Sure.
But I'd like to ask you, because I mentioned that are you still in the emergency medicine, still emergency medicine physician?
I am no longer practicing emergency medicine after a career in which I practiced emergency medicine everywhere from in the back of a in-flight aeromedical helicopter to a refugee camp in the Horn of Africa. I was
a refugee camp in the Horn of Africa?
Yes, I worked in the Sudan, in the Red Sea province of the Sudan. In the early 1990s. And also I was the first African-American woman. In fact, I was one of the first doctors, period, in the nation to fly full-time for a hospital-based aeromedical transport program. I flew for 2 years and 300 transports for Stanford Life Flight, 1986 to 1988. That was a groundbreaking experience for me. And then, practice emergency medicine in various settings, from trauma centers to, local emergency rooms.
So you mentioned that you were the first woman. I saw an honor. You were the first woman that did what? I'm sorry.
Well, I was the first African-American woman accepted into neurological surgery training in the UC
That's what I read, yeah.
And then after the neurosurgical training, I was accepted into a 2-year postdoctoral research and clinical fellowship at Stanford as a flight physician for Stanford Life Flight, and I conducted research on how to stabilize the spine during helicopter transport, because the last thing you want if you picked up a head and spine injured patient on a highway is to put them into a helicopter and have changes in position of the aircraft, or loading, getting the patient on and off the aircraft, aggravate the injury. It really introduces a lot of medical legal risk. So that was an area of my research that was very groundbreaking, and to be candid with you, as an African-American woman who has done pioneering work yourself, sometimes when you're out there and you're the only one doing it, they gotta pay attention to you. I was invited to conferences. I was welcome every time I submitted an article to a major peer-review journal or book, because I was it.
Right. You were the only one. Now, I noticed that you have a plaque in your office, and it says California Doctors 20 23?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, it's a award that I received notice of this year by California Best magazine. Every year they, pick out people and products and services
That are the best in those areas,
right?
yes.
And then they, recognize the individuals. So I was very, very honored that they recognized me in the area of emergency medicine, and some of it, of course, was the result of some of the recognition that I've been receiving around the biomonitoring work. Toxicology, of course, is a subspecialty of emergency medicine. And when I was an emergency medicine fellow at Stanford, I attended toxicology rounds at the San Francisco General Hospital and never realized it was going to have so much benefit.
And relevance.
20
yes.
years later.
Yes.
That's another shout out I want to say. Never, take for granted unique experiences that you have been offered, because down the line, it could turn out to be a really valuable skill. So
let me ask you this. You practice sports medicine.
Yes.
I saw you come into the studio. You're the picture of health.
Oh, thank you.
You've been the picture of health for some time. We see you working out. Tell us a little bit about that, and if someone wants to get involved, what would they do?
Okay. Well, in about the year 2000, I experienced an enormous amount of physician burnout. Had some symptoms of occupational PTSD, and I also had sustained some work injuries to my spine. And I had, in my early life, been active as a dancer and as a gymnast. And so during the period when I was in recovery, I started focusing on my own health. I had also gained, I was about up to 160 pounds, for a 5 foot tall woman. I was working at the VA hospital, also seeing a lot of vets with PTSD. So, sports medicine is also an area that is a subspecialty of emergency medicine. So I moved into that area. I was certified by the National Strength and Conditioning Association, International Sports Medicine Association, and Silver Sneakers, so that I have
Silver Sneakers?
Yes, I have 3
like my
certifications.
What's
Yes.
Silver Sneakers?
Silver Sneakers is a plan that Medicare offers for people over 65, and it is linked to a certification program, the certificate I hold, that trains people who are seniors in a manner that is standardized and is safe.
So would there be fall prevention and those?
Yeah, a lot of it focuses on balance. It focuses on the individual's, particular needs. The actual services are group oriented. It tends to be lower impact,
Yes.
so people aren't being asked to, climb Mount Everest.
That's the silver.
Yeah, the Silver Sneakers. So.
Now let's get down to the meat and potatoes. You founded and are the executive director of the Hunters Point Biomonitoring Program.
Right.
Tell everyone about the Hunters Point Biomonitoring Program. Also, we have about 5 minutes left because time goes so quickly when we're having fun. And also, let's touch on J40.
Sure. Okay. Well, the Hunters Point Biomonitoring Program is the first community-based human biomonitoring program in the nation, established to offer residents and workers within the perimeter of a system of federal Superfund sites access to low-cost, accurate, and fast toxic exposure screenings that can pick up 35 dangerous chemicals, as well as detect nutritional deficiencies. And
what kind of chemicals have you been finding?
oh gosh,
Let's just give
the
us a
short
few.
list is cancer-causing chemicals like arsenic that are on the state of California Proposition 65 list of dangerous chemicals.
Arsenic in the soil.
Arsenic wherever. Arsenic in the soil, the water.
Okay.
Probably airborne as a result of excavations and heavy traffic. And then we're also detecting radioactive chemicals as well as heavy metals. That's in summary, what we are detecting on urinary screenings. But the most important thing that I want people to hear is that the chemicals that we are detecting are chemicals that the EPA and the Navy say are in shipyard soil. And the other important thing I want to say is that there is a unique profile of chemicals that we see from one person to the other, independent of age, sex, ethnicity, nationality, and that profile is a unique signature for baby Hunters Point. I've said it and I've been quoted as saying it. I can look at a urine specimen and tell if someone lives in baby Hunters Point because they're unique chemicals that are signature chemicals that you're only going to pick up if you're living within the 1 mile perimeter of a federal Superfund site. Yeah, I know it's a lot to think about, but when you detect...
It makes me very angry.
Right,
because
yes.
as you know, I'm a retired... Well, I keep my broker's license active, but I'm a retired broker, a real estate broker. Initially, I was going to sell that property, and I, in conjunction with other baby Hunters Point real estate brokers and real estate professionals. So when I asked for the disclosures from the developer, I could never get the disclosures. Which would tell me what the condition of the land was.
Right.
And it wasn't until you came around that I was even able to get an idea, but what I didn't know is it was hazardous.
Sure.
And I could not sell any property up there.
Yes.
Because it was hazardous. And to what extent? I said I couldn't sell anything. And I was so grateful for the work that you've done. It makes me very angry that the developer is still attempting to sell property up there, and it appeared, tell me, is it safe? It sounds like you're saying it's not safe for human habitation.
I've never believed it is. I was the chair of the radiological subcommittee of the Hunters Point Shipyard Restoration Advisory Board in 2004 when Parcel A was transferred and it was being touted as the cleanest parcel. And I have on record a presentation that I gave using Navy documentation in which I said that Parcel A is not suitable for transfer. And what I said has come to fruition. Basically, what I was saying is that the Navy has not cleaned, remediated, or even surveyed the majority, of this parcel.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do another show.
Sure.
We have to do part 2 because we're going to get down, we're going to get even more specific.
Sure.
Because it's a lot of information for people to absorb, and I want them to have as much as we can give them.
Sure.
So we may do it looks like we need to do a series until you feel that you have imparted all of the information that the community, that the city of San Francisco residents need to know, particularly residents that live within a 1 mile radius of the shipyard.
Yes.
I mean, my goodness gracious. So, may we invite you back for the next episode?
Of course.
Okay, and do you have any parting words for the audience?
I just want to say that I am honored to represent the Justice 40 Accelerator at a major conference in California on September 26, 27.
What's the Justice 40?
The Justice 40 initiative was one of President Biden's first executive orders. He signed it in January, 17th of, is that 2020? But in any event, it says that 40% of benefits from the new green economy that he has been advancing should go to disadvantaged, marginalized, exposed, and affected communities like baby Hunters Point. So I'm very, very proud that I will be able to represent, the mission of the Justice 40 Accelerator in September.
Good. So what you're saying, Justice 40, will they provide some reparations to those affected?
Yes, the Justice 40 initiative basically is grounded in the idea that reparations is due to communities that are faced with the most serious burdens, both from the standpoint of environmental exposures to social, and racial impacts.
Okay, it's good to know. I mean, it's not good, but what we do see is there's no discrimination. It doesn't matter the color, age, size, or shape of the human being. This is a human condition,
Sure.
particularly affecting those in Baby Hunters Point. Now, a lot of us, the last thing I want to touch, we'll talk about,
Sure.
is I want to talk about what would a person do, because there appears to be an early death rate.
Without question.
And I'd like you to give us some more information about that. And those that aren't around to benefit, to receive any sort of reparations or help, what would they do? Because a lot of people aren't here. So we'll talk about that.
Yes.
We'll have some questions, and people can send me an email, sfnewstv@gmail.com. Again, that's sfnewstv@gmail.com. Please send us any of your questions, and we will be sure to forward them to Dr. Samchai, and we will discuss them going further. Dr. Samchai, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Sure.
This episode needs to run for at least 3 weeks.
Okay, that's fine.
Because people watch at different times.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll be back. Thank you, Bay Area, for joining us. Thank you again, Dr. Samchai.
Thank you.
Take care, and blessings to all.